Database, the object level of the database.
Database objects.
What is replication?
Replication is high ability option.
Mm-hmm.
It's used to copy objects in
Object data.
Database from one server to another server, or one database to another database.
Is he right?
Is he right? But the answer will...
So how can you define replication? What is replication? How do you explain replication in a brief way, in a simple way?
Where is the answer very well?
Replication is the process of copying data and database objects from one server to another server, or from one server within that server, for the purpose of high availability, disaster recovery, and
Load balancing.
load balancing. So we have four types of replication: snapshot replication, transactional replication, merge replication, and peer-to-peer replication. So why do we use snapshot replication, and why you don't suggest that we use transactional replication? Which one do you mostly use in your environment? Which one is most common in your environment? Transactional replication or snapshot replication? When snapshot replication, when the data is not changing frequently, or based on the predefined schedule time, like every 2 hours, we are not for the very big data, so we are configuring snapshot replication. No شجاع نيني راحت.
It's required also to
ما هو بيخي فول استيميج گنجائش نیست.
it's required to configure replication.
So when the data is not very big, when the data is not changing frequently, so we configure snapshot replication. How does snapshot replication work? When the publisher distributes the data based on the scheduled time, the changes will be applied to the subscriber side based on the scheduled time, based on that interval. So how does instant changes happens in replication? Instant changes or quick changes?
Immediately and based on schedule.
Okay, it means when you configure transactional replication, the changes will be configured, the changes will be applied right away. Yeah, the changes will be applied to the subscriber side right away. So the changes could be push or pull. What is push and pull subscription? What is push subscription? What is pull subscription?
Yeah, when the publisher send the data to the subscriber, it's called push.
When the publisher requests the data, yes, that's a push subscription. When the subscriber requests the data, that is pull subscription. For which type of data we configure push and pull subscriptions? For big data or for small data?
For big data, we prefer pull.
Pull subscription.
Yeah, and for
a small amount of data,
we
suggest to be configured as push subscription.
Push. And also when we have multiple subscribers,
we prefer to apply pull subscription.
Subscriptions. Yeah.
What is merge subscription replication?
Both the publisher and subscriber can update data
Both
at the same time.
publisher and subscriber can bring changes to the data.
Mhm.
So what is the risk of merge replication? There would be
Conflict.
A conflict of
conflict of data.
Same data can enter same times.
Okay, how to avoid conflict of data? SQL Server, how does SQL Server identify that there is a conflict between this data?
based on the agent job.
Mm-hmm.
SQL decide to have only one data.
Okay, based on the, maybe we can go through the transaction isolation, and based on that we can configure this process, that which data should be like the primary, or which data should be the priorities.
Mm.
Also, there are many other reasons that we can go through that and know this answer. But for the time being, just there's a data conflict when there is no properly configuration of merge or peer-to-peer replication. So, anything else?
How we configure the application?
You can configure replication. You need to install the features of replication first. While you're installing SQL Server, you need to install features of replication. Otherwise, you're not able to configure replication. You need to configure distribution database. Distribution database can be in remote, can be on that publisher side. So agent services should be up and running, database engine should be up and running, and other services like there were like 2 to 3 other services also. So based on that you can configure replication.
So which one is better than in this?
Transaction replication is mostly commonly used in most of the environments. So if someone asks us that which one you configure, which one you mostly use in your environment, transaction replication. Transaction replication is the distributor publish the data, yes, to the subscriber based on the right away. Right away.
So right away, maybe they have also problems, like we mentioned before, that two files to between.
Conflict, no. Right away it means at the same time that the publisher brought changes to the primary database, to the primary objects or articles, the same information will be applied to the subscriber side. So subscriber is not allowed to bring changes. Subscriber only receives the data, only receives the articles, the publications.
What is publisher, distributor, and subscriber?
Publisher, the owner of the database or the source of the data or objects is called the publisher side. Publisher server or publisher. Publication, objects or datas, tables, views, indexes, store procedures, which is located inside a database, that's called publication or article.
Like receive? The receiver?
No, publication, those objects, tables, views, yes, functions, store procedures, indexes are called publication. Okay, what's distributor?
Distributor takes the data from source location and gives it to subscriber.
Distributor is a database instance, a SQL Server instance that receives the publication and sends to the subscriber. Receives the publication and sends to the subscriber. What is subscriber?
Subscribers get it from publisher.
Subscriber is a SQL instance that receives the publication,
Yeah.
receives the objects.
Receive the object from the publisher.
Publisher.
Distributor.
from publisher. Yes. Okay. What is, we studied about subscriber. What is subscription? Subscription.
Subscriptions, the data which received from the publisher is called subscriptions.
Those objects,
Yeah.
tables, views, anything which is coming from the publisher side, that's called subscriptions. Those articles is called subscriptions.
What is the article?
It means objects, publications, objects, tables, views. This.
There are any updates in replication? SQL Server?
Say it again.
There are any updates of this replication in SQL Server?
Update of
Replication.
replication. What do you mean by update of replication?
There was question of since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
There's no update or there's update?
I'm not sure. I don't know that one. Look, there's a problem in this instance. So while I'm trying to connect with the default instance of SQL Server, but it's not working for me.
Now you can check it.
I need to go to CMD. If I apply database engine, yes. If I go here, browse,
What?
all the instances, like their domain name has changed. This is the default instance name.